Hey everyone, Grand Solarman's Crazy Canuck coming at you. Got some new adventure here for you. Gave up the farming, bought a sawmill. With supply chain issues, everybody knows what happened to the price of lumber. If you could get it, it was outpriced. So, what better way to supply lumber to the community than to have a sawmill? But today, I've got the top part of a poplar that was residential, and it was taken down because it was rotting. Now this thing's got everything going on. It's got crotch figure guaranteed. It's got rot. It's got some interesting stuff going on. So I'm going to get sawmill fired up. I'm going to take some slabs off starting from the top down, and I'll come back once I get inside a little bit and show you what's going on, and maybe even give you a little show at the mill. I'll be right back. Well, it looks like I maxed out the height of the mill. That's as high as it goes. So I guess I'll be just cutting her off right here. There was also a branch on the side that was sticking out too much, so I took a chainsaw and chopped it off there. So now she's ready for her first cut. This is going to be interesting. Well, here's our first look what's inside this. There's some interesting colors. It's the first cookie, 1.5 inches. Took 1.5 inches off the top. That little piece over here will be just firewood. Starting to get into the meat of the tree. So yeah, there's a lot of slices to take before we get down into something substantial. Getting it in here was a little interesting. I had to use the tractor and the chain, and then it wouldn't quite fit across the 4 foot on the bunks, even though it is more than 4 feet. So had to prop it up on a jig that I made to cut smaller branches, and had to tie that down. So there is literally nothing holding this thing in place except the weight of the tree itself. So once I get her down far enough, I'll flip it over and it should cross the bunks, and I should be able to clamp her down. So far so good. One cookie. I'm going to carry on. Alright, we're getting down into the meat of the issue. Finally getting to the point where we're going to get an actual full slab. And this thing has some interesting character to it, that's for sure. The blade is probably not the sharpest. I cut a whole bunch of lumber yesterday, and coming in here, and it's got a little bit of a dip. I'll probably change the blade after I flip this thing over and start cutting on the other side. But yeah, get a little bit of firewood out of the deal. And these are the slabs we got so far. Very interesting cookies. Really interesting. Some of them might end up as firewood, but you never know. Somebody might have an idea what they could use it for. Alright, well, I'm going to see if I can get back at her and cut some more slabs, and then I'll flip her over. So, I changed the blade, and I flipped this puppy over, which was an ordeal. Basically what I do is I wrap a chain around the middle, put the hook down towards the bottom, and then lift with the tractor, and it rolls it over. But this thing is so off balance that it was a bit of a struggle. But it's on the bunks now, so I can start cutting from the top and go all the way to the bottom. I've got one log dog holding it here, and I have one log stop holding it there. Now the nice thing about this mill is how versatile it is. I'll do a separate video on this mill shortly, but I can move these log stops back and forth. I can move the position of them anywhere on the frame just by unbolting them and moving them. Same with the jacks and a few other of the features. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting on the top here. I'm just going to slab the whole thing down as much as I can. I've got 14 inches between the blade and the top. So depending on how my clearance on the sides here, I should be able to get most of this log sawed without even taking anything off, except for maybe the top couple pieces that are going to fall off by themselves anyway. So I'm going to set the camera up and start going to see how good this new blade cuts. Hopefully it doesn't do any dipping and diving. Be right back. Alright, let's give her. Alright, now for the slab tour. Some of the smaller ones that came off first. and then take you around the block. There's some amazing figure in some of these. Look at the figure in this. Just amazing. Some crotch figure. All kinds of waves. Yet there's even a branch that healed on this one. There's the next one as we're getting to the center of the tree from when I flipped it over. Some more crotch figure. Somebody with enough imagination can make some amazing pieces out of this. The big slabs are all 2 inches thick, 8/4. The last two are 10/4. Just amazing figure. And this is only one piece, the top piece of the tree. The piece that is under this is 11 feet long, over 40 inches at the base. That one is going to be a spectacle to behold. So that's it for my first video in a long time. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Not only can the mill make some fantastic slabs, but it can make lumber. There's some 2x6s, some 1x4. And like I said before, with the price of lumber and the scarcity of some products, if you're building community for the grand solar minimum, this is the way to do it. Anyway, as usual, like if you like, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you soon.